title, and 40 years since Chris Evert won her last Grand Slam in '86.
Gosh. Chris Evert will be on site, but later in the tournament she's coming over. And we've got a goodbye to Stan Wawrinka, and we've got a goodbye to Gael Monfils, and we've got a goodbye to Roberto Bautista Agut. Anyone else we're saying goodbye to?
30-40.
Deary me.
Well, we already said goodbye to David Goffin in '86.
That's deeply upsetting.
He lost to Toby
will
Samuel,
be on site,
who is
but later
from the same club as me in south of England.
And we've got a goodbye to
West
Stan
Hants Club
Wawrinka. And we've got a goodbye point for Selekmeteva. An error-strewn game, especially off the serve from Martakostyuk, as she's looking to close out the set.
Well, the sun's right ahead now, right on top. This is the tough time to serve.
Yeah, David Goffin, very emotional when he was out on court. Dear me, she's missing every single first serve here.
She has a very high ball toss, Kostyuk. Doesn't help.
She gets that serve, the off backhand. That's lovely from Selekmeteva. She's done it. It might not ultimately save the set, but it's got one of the breaks back. And rather than sitting down thinking, well, that's the set done, the smile has disappeared. There's a shake on the head now, shake of the head from Martakostyuk, who leads 5-2. And as Simon said, those umbrellas go up, and those young men and women, he can't get his brolly up.
I mean, I think that's tough. That's hopefully the all boys and girls rotate.
No, he can't do it. He can't open his brolly.
He's got a new one. Got a different one instead.
Bye to Gael Monfils. Now,
it's 30 years since Yevgeny Kafelnikov won. That was a very hot year. That was when Pete Sampras got to the semis.
Yeah.
It is 30 years since Steffi Graf beat Arantxa Sanchez Vicario in the longest final in terms of games played.
Really?
10-8 in the third. So lots of things. 2016.
I mean, that's a lot.
Since Novak completed the career Grand Slam. Drench Open, as we called it.
That long ago?
It rained every day until Novak lifted the trophy. It was a tough 2 weeks of weather.
We've got roofs now.
Exactly.
Most places. Rome is underway to having a roof on Centrale. That's. They said it will be done by next year. We'll see.
Over Centrale. That's a tough roof to build.
Yeah. And then it will be something like the biggest indoor all-purpose venue in Italy. But that's the plan.
If anyone's actually haven't been back to the Foro Italico for a few years, but if anyone is looking to experience a great sporting venue, the Foro Italico is one.
Busy this year. They've made a lot of changes, and we had a cup final at the Stadio Olimpico on a night when they had to pause play because of all the fireworks from the Italian Cup final and the flares. You couldn't see your hand in front of your face. It was absolutely incredible.
That was bizarre, wasn't it?
Really bizarre. So 2-5, Selekmeteva double fault.
0-15.
So it's 2-5, love 15. She's got a lifeline in this set, but she's got to be careful. She's bouncing up and down her toes. Bright sunshine, lots of kids I can see, which is nice because it's a Sunday. So I know in the UK it's half term, but not France it isn't. Ooh, long from Kostyuk. On the run, slightly off balance, off the backhand wing.
I'm going to give a shout out to another Tottenham fan, friend of mine called Matt, who has made his sort of peace with it all.
If they go down?
If they go down, he thinks it'll be a fun change.
No, he's lying to you.
I don't think he is, actually. He said this to me the other day.
No, Simon, there's no way.
I don't know, because he thinks
Tottenham fan is at peace with the fact that they could be in the Championship next year and be spied on by Southampton.
Well, that could be any team, couldn't it? The best thing about that Southampton thing was the few fans in the crowd the following week at Southampton who were dressed in camouflage.
We should explain Southampton Club in the Championship were kicked out of the Championship playoff final. So that's the match to secure a place. It's worth like £200 million to secure a place in the Premier League because they were caught spying on their opponents, and it wasn't the first team they had spied on. And when we say spying, we mean man behind a tree with camera.
It was pathetic, wasn't it?
It wasn't even sort of high-tech spying. 15-30, ball down the middle from Selekmeteva. They're actually still playing through the middle of the court. The backhand netted by Kostyuk. A little bit of frustration now creeping into the Kostyuk game.
Well, he said she can get a bit hot-headed. Maybe the heat's getting to her a little bit.
Oh, now Carlos Suarez Navarro is giving Selekhmeteva a big old fist pump, saying, you got this. 30 all, down the tee. What are we going to get? Set point or a game point? Deep ball from Selekhmeteva. It's double-handed backhand mid-court. It's slam back, forehand, cross-court, angle, set point.
30-40.
Yeah, like I said, the sun at this time of day that's the hardest, when it's right above your head. So it doesn't matter what end you're at, really. That huge ball toss.
Set point. Drop short off the return. The forehand, just got that all wrong.
Really rushed that.
Yeah.
Quite tense. She looks quite tense. I guess maybe a little bit nervous, knowing that she's in good form, but doesn't want to blow it.
Lucky people at the back of some matching. There's a little bit of overhanging shade. Well, lofted miss-hit moon ball off the return from Kostyuk. He flattens out the forehand into the middle of the court. The slice forehand backhand miss-hit from Kostyuk. Clips top of the net from Selekhmeteva. In comes Kostyuk. Open court. Wins the point. Set point number 2.
Yeah, I got a bit lucky with the net cord that sat up for her, but big hitting. That one ball from Selekhmeteva bounced so far over her head, but she just almost hit it completely flat down into the court.
Set point number 2. And a second serve to look at. So she'll step in and up, put a fair bit of pressure on her opponent, see if she can draw the error. Serve is in, the backhand's in play. The backhand swung cross-court very deep from Selekhmeteva.
I think they both thought that was going to go out, but didn't.
Yeah, Kostyuk is staring down at that line.
Égalité.
Thought that line would need to be checked. It wasn't. Back they go. Second juice. 2-5. First meeting between the two. Do we get a handshake at the end of this or not?
I would think so.
I think it's a no.
Is it still a no?
I think.
She didn't switch after?
That it's only. I'm sure I heard double fault. I'm sure I heard martakostyuk say that all the players from Ukraine got together and agreed that Daria Kasatkina was the exception.
Well,
and that they would shake hands with Kasatkina
and Rebecca.
Well, she's never not been shaken hands with.
Well, she'd already switched nationality before the war.
She's never been in a conversation in terms of.
Although she does live in Moscow.
In terms of since, Kasatkina, they agreed, was the only one who under a new flag would be shaken hands with. Forehand, spun cross-court from Selekhmeteva. Oh dear, Kostyuk on a third set point, completely off balance, missed the court completely. She just cannot cross this finish line.
She's definitely a little bit stressed.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times we're going to mention the heat, but it gets to you, and all these things get to you. The nerves of the first match. She knows how good form she's in. She wants to get off quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a soft serve and a miss-hit return, and it's gotten very scrappy. Selekhmeteva cannot believe the fact she's still in the first set.
Yeah, and suddenly things start to change the dynamic of the match. Kostyuk thinks she should have won the set already. Starts to get involved in a bit of a dogfight.
Game point. Serve out wide. Backhand to the of Selekhmeteva, who swings the backhand. Ooh, just cross court. Lofted up with a bit of spin. Drops it short. Trying to bring Selekhmeteva in, who doesn't like being around the net, so she's staying even further back. Inside the baseline is Kostyuk. Kostyuk comes forward on a short ball, scoops it up, drops it. But can she pass her? No, she can't. Juice.
Yeah, a little bit slow to move up to that short ball. Selekhmeteva, I thought she really had time to get up there and whip the pass around Kostyuk, but by the time she got there, the ball was really low down. Much more difficult.
Juice. Kostyuk twisting the racket. Now stands up, and a second serve to look at. So 15 minutes to midday, that is when Philippe Chatrier will spring to life. Novak Djokovic, our evening session from around 8:15 local time. Oh, what a return serve. That was like a rocket.
That was better. I think she's much more comfortable on the backhand side, isn't she? She's so rock solid. Hits it very flat, very hard. Yeah, Novak would be delighted he's playing at night. You know, we talk about people not liking the heat. In his pomp, he didn't even like the heat.
They'll be like, do you want to play on Sunday? At night, yes. I'll take a Sunday night session. over a Monday day. Second serve, a fourth set point. Kostyuk on the baseline. Oh dear, tried to go big with the second serve. Double fault. And there is the first set. So Martakostyuk, that's the first set of Roland Garros 2026. And the main draw goes the way of Martakostyuk. So, Carlos Alcaraz, how worried are you or not about this wrist problem that's now knocked him out of majority of the clay and all of grass?
Yeah, it's always worrying. Wrist injuries are the worst. And they really take a long time to get over. I think he's doing absolutely the right thing. I mean, you work with Laura Robson a lot. She's the absolute best person to ask about this because she rushed back from a wrist injury once and it pretty much ended her career in the end. If you rush it, you're just going to cause much more damage. I think Greg Wierzewski used to say that if the length of time you're out with a wrist injury is how long it takes to get back to your, feeling totally confident and best. But by skipping Roland Garros and half the clay court season and Wimbledon, he's definitely being cautious, and that is without doubt the right thing to do, because wrists. We've seen so many players struggle with wrist injuries, and Del Potro.
Oh no, don't!
How many wrist surgeries did he have? Dominic Thiem. Yeah, lots and lots. Andy Murray had one at one stage early on in his career. Took 3 months off. He got lucky. Yeah, it's hard to see. It's such a shame for the tournament, of course. We wanted Carlos Alcaraz here, but I think he's definitely doing the right thing. You cannot rush a wrist injury. It's totally. It's the best thing to do is to take your time, come back when you don't feel any pain whatsoever. You cannot play through wrist pain. That's my doctor's advice for Carlos there.
Yeah, and as you say, he's been sensible because he's not going to rush back. And Jannik Sinner is just taking advantage. Someone who hasn't been able to take advantage as maybe he should have done is Sasha Zverev. Whether it's mental or physical, he suddenly became the second seed. He suddenly, I'll only have to face one of them, and if I do, that means I've got to the final. So this is an opportunity to make hay. And as we saw in that Madrid final, dearie me, 58 minutes.
I think he is someone who definitely struggles when the pressure is on, in terms of when he's a favourite to do something. We saw it when he had the chance to become number one, and he just sort of crumbled for a few weeks. And he gets it back, and he gets, we can't knock him too much. He gets to Grand Slam finals, and he is still very tough to beat in best of 5 matches, and he's got a good chance to go deep this fortnight if his back is okay. But I think when he feels the pressure, what he does is he reverts back to type and to standing miles behind the baseline. And it is, you don't want to be too cruel about someone's tactical awareness, but it is so easy to play against someone who stands that far back. We saw it when Novak Djokovic played him here, and almost every single serve on the deuce court, Novak served and volleyed, because the chances of him hitting a winner from there are sort of 1 in 100, and he knew that he could just pick off easy volleys or he'd miss. I think something happens in Sasha's brain that sends him backwards. He reverts to type, which is defensive, and he waits, and he's too passive. And he has improved his forehand over the years, and he's become more aggressive. But when it's important, he drops back, and that's the difficult thing he has to overcome. Probably
not telling you on what they need to do. Should work with a sports psychologist. He doesn't.
Absolutely.
But he should too.
I can't believe he didn't do it, but it's something he clearly should do. It's not a stigma anymore. The vast majority of top players use them at some stage or other, and why wouldn't you?
When you've exhausted everything else physically, and you're doing all the right things on court and physically, but there is something that's just pushing you back, and this is highlighted again. He will then say probably through this section, but it was my back. It was my back the reason I didn't do it, which
it's an excuse, isn't it?
It's a shame because everything is there, and he could be taking advantage, but fortunately he's not able to, as Martakostyuk double fault, so she's at love 30. So Selekhmeteva took a little break off court sensibly, Kostyuk sat under the umbrella with a bag of ice on her head.
Probably playing it if they could.
Needs must. She's the 15th seed, Martakostyuk. But she's at love 30 in this first game of the second set. And what you don't want to do is get involved in a long game and stay out here. But the 23-year-old is triple break point down now in this first game with 40 minutes on the clock. So this is court Simone Mathieu. We will have all courts underway in around 10 minutes' time. The backhand straight through the middle from... Oh, my word, that is a game to forget for Martakostyuk. Wow. Error strewn from the player from Ukraine. And Selekhmeteva gets herself on the board. Just got 2 games in the first set. Already a break to the good in the second. So what would be your match of the day today, looking at our breakdown? We've got likes of Taylor Fritz, who's returning to action. Sorana Castell, who's having this wonderful I'm retiring, so let's just crack on. We've got João Fonseca, Sophia Kenin, Peyton Stearns, Fran Jones, Emma Raducanu. There's all sorts going on.
There is a lot going on. I'm looking forward to seeing how Fran Jones does from a British point of view against Beatrice Haddad-Meyer. That's a tough match for her, but she loves a challenge. Definitely looking to see how João Fonseca is. He had a bit of an injury in his last tournament. He pulled out as a precaution. He says he's okay. Good to see Mira Andreeva on the schedule. She's, although we didn't talk about her this morning. No one's really talking about it, even though she's very close to winning everything. Like she's second behind Kostyuk in terms of streak, and she's won the most matches. She's right there, and it feels like.
Why wouldn't you pick her then?
Well, she still looks like a work in progress.
Still quite emotional.
She's still very emotional on court in big matches. She definitely has the game to do well. I feel like she probably needs to get to a semi or a final first before. I don't think maybe she's not going to just go and win one. Right. But I don't know. I think she's a great player. Her serve improves all the time. She could go well. I'm looking forward to seeing Sophia Kenin against Peyton Stearns will be a good match.
Yeah, it's called 14.
What else is one to watch outside?
I'm interested to see about Taylor Fritz. He took the time off.
Yeah.
His team basically said, we're not going to come with you. You've got to stop. You've got to rest the knee. And I remember speaking to him in Miami, and I sort of put the question to him, because we know he's been nursing this problem. And I said, what? He said, we're managing it. And I said to him, because I'm just quite interested, Kostyuk's now got love 30 on the Selekhmeteva 15-30 serve. I said, how do you manage an injury like this by playing tennis when you're loading on it the whole time? And he sort of said, well, we do a lot of work off it, but it was obvious it just needed rest. And his team said, you can go to Monte Carlo, but we're not coming. And he said that was the moment when he said, okay, they're not coming, I've got to rest. And he said he probably hasn't spent as much time at home since COVID times. He's shredded some fat, he's back, he's had a change in his personal life. So I think it's going to be interesting that the Taylor Fritz we get back.
Yeah, I'm not sure we're going to get the top Taylor Fritz straight away. Also off-court issues, change of relationship. Yeah. That'll have a factor. There'll be a factor. Yeah. It's not his best surface either. He's probably coming back now thinking I can get myself ready for grass. Yeah,
they said it would be a kinder surface to come back on.
So that makes sense.
And then goes to the grass.
Well, maybe he'll come back with a little less pressure, which will help, rather than trying to start at Queen's or wherever and, under the microscope. But yeah, you're right, it'll be interesting.
Deary me. Selekhmeteva handed back the break to Martakostyuk, so there you go. Let's just crack on at a game apiece. Carlos Suarez Navarro is just trying to give us some encouragement. Selekhmeteva is having none of it. Right, a game apiece, and maybe she feels that could be chance gone, but we shall see. I bumped into Ryan Harrison, who is the coach of Seb Corder. I said, what happened to your man? And he said, he said he wanted to play, and they had a big kind of conference meeting with Dad and Ryan, and Ryan's like, I just don't see what you'll get out of it. You're not fully fit. Let's just rest. Again, it's the come back when you're ready, and it was kind of like, I don't think anything's good going to come out of it.
He's had so many injuries, hasn't he?
So it's kind of take your time and let's get back on. I think he's off to Stuttgart after this, so get yourself, you know.
He's one, I mean, you know, I think all players should err on the side of caution when they're struggling with injuries, but he definitely pulls out when he's not 100%. You know, maybe there are times when he could have played and it wouldn't have made any difference to his injury. You never know, of course, but I feel like he definitely ducks out of some tournaments here and there.
He's got a wedding to plan. He's getting married in Prague.
Yeah.
So apparently, while he's not able to play, he's doing some wedding planning in Prague.
That's useful.
Yeah, it's useful, isn't it? Just
Prague, nice, lovely city.
Yeah, no, absolutely beautiful. Using that time wisely. So Martakostyuk sort of back on track after that horror of the first game in the second set.
Chris has, for all you cricket fans around the world, Chris is describing Radio Roland Garros, the tennis equivalent of the BBC's Test match special is back.
Well, that is high praise indeed.
Sport is so much better on the radio, and Radio RG is the best.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much for being with us. We've got a new jingle at the top. Sounds a little bit like the start of a horror film, but well, it's a bit sci-fi, Stefan, isn't it? It's a bit creepy, but but we'll take it. Game points. Oh dear. Wild first serve down the tee from Kostyuk. Tiago Agustin Taranti has taken the first set against Pablo Lamas Ruiz on court 13. That's the Emma Raducanu court. She is third match out there. Hold to love for Martakostyuk, and we've had a set for Ajla Tomljanovic and a set for Maria Buskova.
A message from Mayank saying, is looking up the best players never to make the second week of a slam.